I do this dance now when I'm waiting to see myself live because I don't know when I'm actually going to show up. Oh, there I am. Okay, great. Hey, Lion, how are you? Hey, NS Gaming. Thank you guys for joining. So on point. I'm actually a minute early because I was just excited and I just wanted to get started. Hi, Rub Fuzz. Julian, Andrew, what's up? Thank you so much for joining me on this March live stream, and I want to ask you guys some thoughts on my April trip planning. I literally am logged into the Disney World website right now looking at my itinerary so I can like go through it and we can discuss what I'm doing because I'm a little all over the place. I have like fast passes and stuff kind of set, but they aren't like in stone, and I'm a little back and forth on some restaurants and all of that good stuff. So yeah, I want to go through my itinerary and get some advice from you guys, where I should eat, what I should do, all that stuff. Yes, Julian, I am going in April, so I will be there. Let's start with the dates. I will be there April 13th to 19th. Am I right? 17th? Oh my gosh, I can't even think of how many days it is. 17th. I am flying down the 13th in the afternoon. I land around 7 p.m. and then I leave on Tuesday around 7 p.m. So I get home at like 10 p.m. So right now I'm trying to figure out what to do in that time frame, which is only really like 5-ish days, like not even really. Someone says, you're going to playlist live. No, I'm not actually. I won't be able to do that. Rob Fuzz, because you sure need our help. Haha, you were so good. I mean, I like people's opinions, I don't claim to be the total pro here. So I just like people's opinions on what I should do. Susan Sasso says, we were there last week. That's awesome. How are the crowds? Because when I was there in January, as some of you guys know, I've been looking at my vlogs that come out every Monday. It was kind of crazy for January. I was shocked. So I'm wondering if, are they still as crazy? Should I just resign myself to the fact that there's, a lot of people there? Or, I don't know. Yeah, Susan says it was very busy. Yeah, I feel like it's just been really nuts in the past, I don't know, this whole year. This whole year has been, really, really busy down there. Hey, Nothing But Disney, thank you for joining. Hi, Cynthia, thank you for everyone who's just joined. Julian asked me, what hotel are you staying at? So I am staying at All Star Sports. I book All Stars and they all blur together to me. So I forget sometimes exactly. Yes, All Star Sports, I'm looking at my thing right now. Because since I am going on my own and I'm overlapping with people, but I'm staying on my own, it's just cheaper to do an all-star by yourself than to try to do a deluxe or a moderate unless I'm sharing that. And also I feel like the annual pass deals were meh when I'm going down. They really weren't that impressive, so I couldn't really upgrade. So I'm keeping it with the all-stars. James says it's so busy because they have less cast members working rides. I wonder if that's true. I didn't hear about that. Is there a specific reason? Is it just they don't have enough employees, or are they just not putting people on the schedule every week? That's really interesting. Hey Morgan, good to see you. Luke says, I think we need to just accept that there is no off season anymore. Yeah, I totally agree. It's kind of sad because I feel like everyone used to plan their trips around that, and there used to be days where you could walk on rides, and it was awesome. But I think if you now go with the mindset of focus on the things that you really want to do that, are non-negotiable, and if you get to do other stuff, then cool. And if you don't, you just kind of have to accept the fact that this is a, world famous resort, and a lot of people go there. There's not much you can do about that. Even the resorts were busy. Yeah, and what doesn't help is a lot of the resorts are undergoing a lot of construction, so there's less rooms available than usual. So it feels even worse because when you're trying to book, there's no rooms available at certain places because some of them will be completely blocked off because they're under construction. So that can be kind of tough. Art of Animation, we stayed there in January for a couple of nights. I really, really liked it. We did Little Mermaid 'cause it didn't make sense for us to do one of those like studio rooms, but I was super, super into Art of Animation. Weasel News, I missed this. I did not see anything about a strike down there. I'll have to look into that. That's a shame. I mean, yeah, that will definitely really affect things. We have that happen sometimes here in New York with like our public transportation stuff. People go on strike, stuff. All right, so Friday, April 13th, I have 0 things planned. And I think the problem is I land around 7 p.m. And so I did splurge. I did go for touring plans, like paid thing for the year, just because I have enough trips to like warrant getting those updates. And they did update me that I think a couple of parks have extended their Friday night hours to like 10 or 10:30. I just don't know if it's like worth it for me to try to get to a park like after flying 2.5 hours to drop off my bags and then try to get to a park for, let's be realistic, I'm probably not going to get to All Star Sports until 8:30. So I'm like, do I do a park? Do I go to like Magic Kingdom or something? Or do I do like Disney Springs? Do I maybe like hang out there and go get a dinner over there? Maybe explore some of the bars that are new that I still haven't gotten to see. I still haven't gotten to see the Edison, which seems like right up my alley. So, I don't know what to do. Rob Fuzz says Disney Springs. Susan says Disney Springs. NS Gaming says late dinner at Chef Mickey's. That's interesting. Julian says congrats on 1.7K sub. Thank you very much, Julian. Most people are saying Disney Springs, Edison. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't want to like land from my flight and then be so tired and then get to Magic Kingdom and be like, I have no energy to do anything. Like, why am I even here? So, do you guys have any tips? I mean, I know a few of you have done solo trips. Some of you are thinking about solo trips. Do you guys have any thoughts on like a restaurant that I should go to in Disney Springs that would be good on my own? I've eaten myself at like a few different places with friends already, but I don't know if there's like any that you would think like would be comfortable for a solo person or has a bar I can eat at or whatever, because sometimes I prefer that. Or maybe I'll just like, I don't know, go get some like poutine or something and people watch. I don't know. I'm like still so up in the air about what I'm going to be doing. Rob Fuzz says, when's the new Cirque show opening? I don't know. I feel like I heard rumors that it was supposed to be this summer, but I'm not really sure if it's going to be that soon, because I would love to see it. I'm a big, like, being in New York, I'm a big, like, show person. I like going to see Broadway shows. I like, you know, just stuff like that. So a lot of theater. So I'm interested in seeing the new show for sure. Enzo's Hideaway does look really cool. I was really jealous because the last time I went with Rob, he was actually there a few days before me, and so he and Kat got to go to Enzo's, and I missed out, and it seemed really, really cool. Weasel News says never go to the bowling alley for food. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have done that anyway. I figured there's so many good places to eat in Disney Springs, like why would I want to go there? Deluxe Burger, I do hear is good. I can't eat red meat. I have a weird allergy to it that I only found out like a couple years ago. But if they have like a turkey burger or a veggie burger, I could do that. I'll have to look at their menu. Cause yeah, I can't do any red meat. Homecoming. Oh, Mouse Nerds Adventures. Homecoming is so good. You need to go eat there. I took Rob on the last trip and I've been there before with friends. And it is some of like the best Southern, like, oh, it's just so good. Their mac and cheese is like to die for. You absolutely need to eat there. It's really, really good. Animal Kingdom at night doesn't stink, open at 9:30. Yeah, it's like, am I going to get there in time? Like, am I realistically going to get to any park before 9 p.m.? I don't know. I don't know if that's like actually going to happen. What about the monorail loop the first night and blog the 3 hotels? That is a good idea. I've also been wanting to hit up, if you guys watch him, Theme Park Brews, who's going to be moving down there soon, and maybe we can work out a monorail bar crawl that night. I have to see what he's up to. So like that could actually be a really good idea for the first night as well. Something like not too crazy. Okay, now I love how you guys went Disney Springs. Now everyone's like, yes, monorail loop. So I guess now I'm up in the air about either. Right now Disney Springs is winning. Okay, so then we'll move to Saturday, the 14th. I'm waiting for Disney's website to load because they're kind of slow. Okay, so Saturday is Magic Kingdom because it makes sense to me to go there first. I always like going to Magic Kingdom first. So I have an early 10:15 Big Thunder Mountain Railroad Fast Pass. I have an 11:15 Space Mountain. I have lunch right now at Liberty Tree Tavern, which I do know might be a little weird as a solo like diner, so I'm kind of on the fence with that, but I've never eaten there, so it's kind of the reason why I booked it. And then I have a 7 Dwarfs Mine Train after that, and I don't have any set dinner plans just yet. So questions on Liberty Tree Tavern, yay or nay? Do you guys like it? Should I stay with that reservation? Or do you have any suggestions for somewhere else to eat in Magic Kingdom? Because I don't really know. I've never been there, but I also know, isn't it like family style? Or am I wrong? Or is it just like a big buffet for lunch? I don't remember how they do it. I just feel like it's going to be really weird as a solo person. So, Lion says, what about Splash Mountain? I might try to do standby first thing for Splash. Or switch out Big Thunder for Splash. I'm kind of up in the air on that. I just personally love Big Thunder, so if I can get a Fast Pass, I usually make that a priority. Liberty Tree is really good, says Susan. It is family style. Okay. Susan Hunt says, my daughter and I will be at Magic on the 14th. It's a last minute trip, so we don't have super exciting Fast Passes, though. I hope I can run into you. I will definitely be around for, like, most of the day, so you should definitely look for me. Rob Fuzz says, I vote no. So where else would you suggest? Bill P, I do normally eat Columbia Harbor House for quick service, but I'm trying to eat at a few more different places or like sit downs this trip. So, I mean, I've heard like quick service options for MK Solo. I've heard like not so great things about Tony's Tavern because I was considering that too, but people say it's like kind of just okay Italian food, so I kind of avoided that. I feel like the line for Splash is always longer than Big Thunder, so if you had to stand by, I would choose to stand by there, says 1901. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's just like a preference thing, but I didn't get to go to Splash last time because it was down for refurb, so I feel like I should make a point to go. So I might switch it out. And escaping to Skipper Canteen. I have eaten at Skipper Canteen a couple of times before, and I do really enjoy it. I was also considering doing that. Actually, the first time I ever ate at Skipper Canteen was on a solo trip, and I was like pretty comfortable there. It wasn't like too weird or bad at all. So yeah, the waiters are hilarious, and they never made me feel like weird or anything for like being there by myself. So I do really like Skipper Canteen. And then I guess I'm trying to think. I don't know if I had anything really planned for that evening. I assumed that I was going to maybe go to Epcot that evening and then figure out, I guess, dinner there. But I don't have any fast passes for that because I figured I would use up my Magic Kingdom and then, make some at Epcot. Yes, Network 1901, I have eaten at Kona Cafe. For some reason, that happens to be the restaurant of choice when I meet up with a couple of my cast member friends. For some reason, so I was like, let's just go to Kona. Their butter is amazing. It's so, so good. Lion says, be our guest. I've only been there once, a really long time ago when it first opened. But if I can get in there, then maybe I will. And Lion also says, I don't recommend Tony's Town Square. Yeah, I've heard it's not so good. Most people tell me it's just kind of meh. And I feel like living in New York, we have really good Italian food here. So I definitely don't want to like eat there and then be kind of like disappointed by it. Rob Fest says I would do be our guest. Yeah, I might switch. And being one person, like that's a big benefit of traveling solo, it's very easy to get reservations. And it's very easy to get fast passes because you're literally just one person. I guess for restaurants, it's kind of the same as being two people because they're going to put you at a two-person table. But it's pretty easy to sneak in there and get something last minute, which is nice. The Emperor says Baseland Tap is incredible for drinks. Yeah, so I tried it out for the first time on my last trip. I just had one quick drink there. But I do want to check out more of the craft beers because I think I had a cocktail there. But I think it's cool. I think it's a great location. I'm super into Baseline Tap Room for sure. Okay, and then let's see, Sunday. I am doing, okay, so I don't even remember my plans. I'm doing Hollywood Studios in the morning because we all know that Hollywood Studios is not even a half day anymore, but I am a person who really likes the atmosphere, so I still make a point to go. Some people cut it out of their trips entirely nowadays, but I make a point to go. So we've got real early, 9:45 in the morning, Tower of Terror, 10:55 Rock and Roller Coaster, 12:25 Star Tours. I feel like I'll probably take some time to maybe do like Indy or something like that because I've always liked that stage show. And then after that, I currently have lunch at Sanaa because I've been saying for a really long time that I want to eat at Animal Kingdom Lodge or Villas. This is the Villas. I will probably Uber it. I feel like that's going to be the easiest thing to do. But again, another thing of like, do I want to stick with those plans? Going to Kidani Village is kind of out of the way. And then I assumed that I was just going to do Animal Kingdom in the evening, go from, Kidani Village to Animal Kingdom. But it is a bit out of the way, but I've been saying forever that I'm going to go eat there. So then I feel like that's always my excuse, right? It's like, I just feel like Animal Kingdom Lodge is so far. And then I'm always like, ugh, do I want to go all the way out there? But I do, but I don't. I don't know. Hollywood Studios, Rob Fuzz, you are on top of my hours right now, my park hours. I appreciate it. He also said hit that like button. So yes, hit that like button. It totally helps me out, you guys, when you do that. So please hit that like button. So you said Hollywood Studios, April 15th, 9 to 9 p.m. Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I'm just going to get in real early. Ennis Gaming says 3 rides of Toy Story Mania, waiting 3 hours, full day at Hollywood Studios. I don't really do Toy Story Mania by myself because I don't think it's as fun. It's one of those rides that, like, as a solo rider, I mean, I guess I could just, like, try to shoot on both things at the same time and just, like, see how poorly I do. But I don't know. I don't know if I'll end up doing it at all. Network 1901 says Sanaa bread service is the best. Yeah, everyone talks about that. That's part of the reason why I want to go, because who doesn't love bread, right? Rob Fuzz says, can't you take a bus there from Studios? I could, but I find that Ubers are faster, especially in the middle of the day. Like, they run their buses so much more frequently in the mornings and, like, obviously park closing. And then every time I feel like I'm transferring from one place to another, and I ran into this in my last trip, like, there was one point where I was going Animal Kingdom to Epcot, like 12 o'clock, and waited 30 minutes for a bus, and the people ahead of me in line have been waiting 45 minutes. Like, it's been not so great lately. So I don't know if I want to trust the buses to get to my lunch reservation on time. Everyone's saying go for it for Sanaa. We'll be at Epcot on the 15th via Napoli, 4:45, and Rick Springfield at 8. That sounds awesome. Someone else says, Jose, I hope I said your name right. I don't know if it's Jose or Joss. Truitt says, I definitely take an Uber to AKL and get there early to get a window seat at Sanaa. The animals come right up to the windows. Save time to check out the resort in Savannah, too. Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to check out the resort. Like, I've been wanting to stay there for a long time, to the point that I've even looked at renting DVC points to see if I can, like, actually make it happen maybe in the fall, because it just seems like such a beautiful resort, and I've never been there. So, and my brother stayed there and, like, raved about it. Network 1901 says, if you don't eat at Sanaa, I'll take the like I gave this video away. That is a good enough reason to get my butt there. now you can hold me to that, because I'll you know, Instagram story or live tweet when I'm there, and I'll prove to you that I went. Mike Pius says Toy Story Mania Solo is just a way to practice your score until you arrive with someone later. Yeah, I guess. I kind of suck at it. Like, you know what my problem is? I'm not very good at the end bonus thing. By that point, my wrist is so tired. Like, it hurts so much. I just can't do it. Tara says, which resort are you staying at? I'm a little late. All Star Sports. Going real cheap, simple. You know, I'm only there for like 4 nights. Didn't want to spend a lot of money since I will be paying for that room on my own. Okay, cool. And let's look at Monday, April 16th. So yeah, so I'm a little uncertain of what I'm going to do actually on Sunday night, because Monday morning I have Animal Kingdom Fast Passes. So I don't know if I want to do Animal Kingdom Sunday night and Monday morning, but I do really like Animal Kingdom at night. Like, it's such a different experience. So first thing in the morning I have Expedition Everest 9:25, Dinosaur at 10:55. Navi River Journey at 12:05. Couldn't get a Flight of Passage even as one person, but I know I will keep checking when I'm down there, because I find that people cancel them all the time. So I'll definitely switch anything out for that. Like, if it's anywhere in any of my Fast Passes, I will switch out for that. And then I have lunch at Tiffin's at 12:25, because I've always wanted to eat there. So I'm very excited about that. That is a definitely going to eat there. For anyone who has eaten there, if you have suggestions of what to get, let me know. Someone told me that the octopus appetizer is amazing. And I love octopus. So I think I'm going to do that. Hey, Lynn Ward, thank you for joining. Lion says you should make a little time for resort hopping. Yeah, you know, a lot of my trips just tend to be, to me, too short to do it, though I think it's more like I'm not making the time to do it. So I would love to do it more on like a full week trip, which I'm thinking about doing in the fall. I really want to do a 7 or 8 day trip in the fall, which I haven't done in like about a year and a half, so that would be really nice. Rob Fuss says single rider line Flight of Passage. I mean, yes, but you still have to wait standby up until you get to that point where they're starting to put you into the rooms. Then you go single rider. So you're still doing the full wait up until then, which kind of sucks. So maybe I'll rope drop. That's the other option, is I rope drop to do Flight of Passage and then do my Fast Passes. So I don't know. Rafa says, woohoo, Tiffins. Mike Pius says, I was able to get Flight of Passage as soon as the parks opened, almost a walk-on. The first time I ever rode it, I was in Magic Kingdom. It was like in the afternoon, and I randomly like just refreshed, and all of a sudden there was a Fast Pass for like 2 hours later, and I was like, well, guess I'm going to Animal Kingdom. It was kind of crazy. So you never know when people are letting go of their Fast Passes. Emperor says you probably don't need Everest Fast Pass. I rode 6 times in December during Christmas. Pandora shortening all lines, especially for solo. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they'll continue to do for that, because I think there's going to be a lot of solo riders for Flight. The only thing I don't like is I've ridden it solo like 3 times, and every time you ride it solo, they add you into a room where there's space. So I'm always on the very end. Like, I'm always on very one end or the very other end. I'm never, like, in the middle, because they're just kind of putting you in there. So, kind of sucks. I've never had, like, a middle seat. Consider the Epcot Seasick Challenge. Zortab, what is the Seasick Challenge? I've never heard of this before, but I want to know what it is now. Julian says, how long are you staying? I fly down on the 13th, and I leave on the 17th. So, and the 13th I get there kind of late. So, not too many days, like 4.5 days. The first time I went to Animal Kingdom was with my family and during a tropical storm, says Shonen Princess. I have been there during a really bad storm before where like everything was kind of shut down and got stuck just in the Fast Pass Everest line. And everyone was just huddled together under there because we were the wind was so crazy that it was raining sideways and we were trying not to get wet. It was interesting. Rob Fez says, I'll be honest, I was bummed I missed the queue for Flight of Passes. Is it horrible to do that part? you know, it's just a long wait, but the queue is beautiful. And I think like if you can road drop Pandora, do that and do the standby, because you'll still walk through some of it and you won't have as long as of a wait. Because when I did that, I think I waited 75 minutes. But I still got to see a lot of the really, really cool stuff in the queue, which was really, really impressive. Zortab says, full serving of crab cake, seafood salad, and clam chowder at Coral Reef, followed by Mission Space Orange. I can do that. I go on Mission Space Orange all the time after I eat. Totally can do it. I might have to do that on the trip. I'll do the seafood challenge. Rob Fez says, are you doing any behind-the-scenes tours, Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom? I looked into it, kind of on the fence. I know I've done a couple in my last couple of trips. Was considering Keys to the Kingdom if I wanted to splurge on that. I think what stops me from that is less the price, but more that it's like a 5-hour tour that you just have to like prepare that half of your day is going to be doing this tour. So I'm kind of up in the air, which is why I like taking the shorter like hour tours. But I might add one. Lion says, do you think Flight of Passage will get shorter when the Slinky Dog ride opens? I think that, yeah, I mean, you're going to see a lot of people who are going to start going to Hollywood Studios more. They're going to be doing like they did for Animal Kingdom, daily extra magic hours every night, because they know they're going to have an influx of crowds, which makes sense. Do I think we're going to see a huge drop in the wait for Flight of Passage? No. I don't think it's going to go from like 3 hours to like, 45 minutes, but we might see some like leeway. We might see a drop to more like an hour and a half as a standard wait. Because yeah, you're going to have the people who are going to want to go there, but you have to remember that like a lot of people aren't frequent visitors, so they still haven't seen Pandora as much as they wouldn't have seen Toy Story Land, and so there's still going to be priorities for them. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to affect it too much. Patrick Cowell says, I haven't been to Disney in ages, but this summer I am going on a road trip with my mom to South Carolina to see my grandma. That's awesome. I've never been to South Carolina. I do have a friend from there, and it seems lovely. Sorry if you guys just heard that buzzing. My neighbor is doing laundry, which is right through that door. Rob Fez says, when you go for the week in the fall, do it. I know you mean Keys to the Kingdom. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm 100% going to do it. Rob did it. It was just like so in love with the tour, and I told him not to tell me anything because I want to see a lot of stuff on my own. I will 100% do it. Lynn Ward says, why are you not taking me to Disney with you? I'm jealous. If I was rich, if I like won the lottery, I would take all of you to Disney with me, and it would be amazing. But I'm not rich, and I cannot do that. Sorry. Network 1901 says, you could also cancel this trip and book a Disneyland trip to come see me and Keith and see the Pixar Fest. I wish I could, but it is actually much cheaper for me to go down to Florida from New York than to go to California. However, I'm going to California 2 times this year for weddings, and I'm trying to find a way to get myself to Disneyland. So I will keep you updated on if I can make that work. Lion says, have you ever considered buying a Banshee in Pandora? Not really, because a lot of my merch purchases I really think about, because I don't want to just buy everything that's cool, because this whole place would be just full of that stuff. I think that they're really cool, but I don't really know what I would do with it. So no, I haven't really considered buying that. I like a lot more of like artwork and stuff when I buy stuff from Disney. Susan says, I want to do Keys to the Kingdom so bad. Rob Fuzz, I love you're pushing the legs on this video. You're amazing. Thank you. Fun Disney Fan says, what is your favorite part of Flight of Passage? I don't want to talk too much about it for people who haven't ridden it, unless you all have ridden it. If you give me the go-ahead, talk about parts in Flight of Passage, then I will do it. But if people haven't ridden it, I don't want to, like, ruin things. I will say that something that I like is that the pacing changes a bit. It's very thrilling, and then there's a nice slow section, and then it's thrilling again, and I think that's really lovely. It's a really nice way of kind of giving you a lot of different kind of feelings and experiences. So that is all I will say. I don't want to like talk too much about specific scenes because I just don't want to like ruin it for people. Bill P says, I would love to do the behind the scenes tour of the steam train. Yes, that one looks really cool too. Because it's talking about like Walt's love for trains and how that influenced a lot of the stuff in the parks. And the train that goes around Magic Kingdom is older than the Magic Kingdom. It was actually like a repurposed real train, which is really fascinating. So yeah, that's actually, you know, I've also thought about doing, what is it? It's like Marceline to Main Street, which is basically people call it a shorter version of Keys to the Kingdom. It's like 2 or 3 hours instead of 5 hours, but it focuses more on Walt Disney himself and, you know, how he came from his upbringing to creating Disney World. So that's also another tour that I'm kind of thinking about as well. Obviously cheaper than Keys to the Kingdom, so possible. What else? Weasel News, how do I comment on the podcasts? Do you mean, like, how do you get your comment into the podcast, like the ones that we read? Because all you have to do is email us or tweet us. You can tweet TTA Podcast, but you can also just, like, tweet me and Rob individually, usually in, like, response to questions that we do and stuff. I think that's what you mean. But if you mean something else, let me know. Flight of Passage is the best ride ever. I totally agree. Fun Disney Fan, it is my favorite ride in all of Disney World. It is so good. It is so good. Ugh, I love it. Like, every time I get off of it, I just get, like, really just blown away by that ride. Ugh, it's so good. Hi, Winnie Cooper. Thank you for joining. Okay, so that was my full... Oh, I didn't even finish Monday. So Monday, Rob is actually coming to Disney. He's going to be there for a week. We are overlapping by just a couple of days this time. We didn't really, like, plan it to stay together much. But he is flying in Monday, him and Kat, and I will be meeting them at Epcot in the evening. So I believe we have a Spice Road table reservation that I'm very excited about. I've never eaten there. I've really wanted to eat there. So the three of us will be definitely doing that. And then they've got some fast passes that I'm going to try to jump on when I use all of mine. We'll see what happens. But it'll probably be like kind of a low-key night because they would have just flown in the afternoon and it's really tiring. So that's kind of the rest of Monday. And then Tuesday is my last day. I fly out at 7 p.m., 7:30, which is typically when I leave Disney. So I know that I have till, I'd probably say 4 o'clock the latest to then start hustling it back to the resort to take Magical Express. Sometimes when I want to buy myself an extra hour, I'll take a cab to the airport because, you know, Magical Express picks you up so early. But then again, Orlando airport security is a nightmare, so sometimes it's better to get there really early. So Tuesday, yeah, so I've kind of mixed my days around. Tuesday, I have some Animal Kingdom fast passes, but it's really up in the air. My Tuesday is not set in stone, and I have no idea what to do. I have basically morning till 4 p.m. I have no idea what part to go to. Do I go back to Magic Kingdom? Probably will, because I'm spending 2 days in Epcot. I don't know. I have no idea what to do on my very last day. I feel like saying goodbye to Magic Kingdom is usually a nice way to do it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Like, I have fast passes, but, you know, they're not in stone, and I'm probably going to move them. Also, I have no idea if you guys can hear. My neighbors are here with their kids, so I apologize if you can hear them. But they're really sweet kids, and I like them a lot. So, someone says, is the podcast on SoundCloud? No, The Emperor, we don't have it on SoundCloud right now, but I believe you can listen to it on iTunes, on Stitcher. We're trying to get it on Spotify, and you can also listen to it on the website, which is thetapodcast.com. So you can listen to it in all those places. Shonen Princess says, yes, the TSA line is so bad, especially around the holidays. Actually, when we were leaving, we were so shocked. They were so busy. There was like so much backup. They had a sign that was like, if your flight doesn't leave within the next 2 hours, like, don't get on the security line yet. Like, that's how crazy it was. And the line was through all of the security and then was like down one of the aisles, like starting to go past the stores. It was absurd. I've never seen anything like that before. Luckily, I was there really early, and then my unluckily, my flight got pushed back 2 times, so I had plenty of time to get to my flight. But yeah, it was crazy. I had never seen, and all the times I'd been down there, it's always a little busy, but I've never seen anything like that before. It was nuts. Rob Fuzz says, I always do Epcot on travel days. That's me. Yeah, I've done that before, for sure. And then sometimes I still have the Magic Kingdom anyway, because I just like seeing it before I leave. I don't know. There's something about like the motion of that, I guess. Sorry, you guys are going so fast today, which I love, and I'm trying to catch up on everybody's questions and thoughts right now. Lynn Ward says, would you suggest the Star Wars VR for a group where not everyone likes Star Wars? I can't decide if I want to force my friends to do it or not. I think it's still fun as a ride. I mean, do they hate Star Wars? Like, is their opinion like, meh, Star Wars, it's fine? Or is it like, I hate Star Wars? Because if they hate it, then maybe not. But if they're indifferent to Star Wars, I mean, as a ride, it's still a really cool ride. So I don't see why you wouldn't, like, have them go on it. They don't really need to know anything. And I would imagine that there's a huge amount of people who go on Star Tours that don't know anything about Star Wars. Like, when you think about how many people go to Disney, I'm sure there's plenty that have seen maybe 1 or 2 movies, don't really know everything that's being referenced, and have a good time. So I think if they're open to it, they should go on it. Susan says the Flower and Garden Festival in Epcot is awesome. Take lots of pictures. Yes, I've been, so weirdly, like, not planned to do it, but have been there for the past 2, I think. So this will be my 3rd one, and I love it. It's actually really, really grown on me as a festival. The Butterfly Garden's one of my favorite things. I love when they do, like, the cranberry, like, thing with the guys, like, crushing the cranberries. They have really good food there. I mean, yeah, it's definitely a really great festival that has grown on me a lot. Oh, thank you for letting me know, Lynn Ward, that it's already on Spotify. That it's a process. Like, you have to apply for Spotify, and it's a lot harder to get onto than some other places. So I think we were just kind of waiting around to see it go through. But thank you for letting us know that it has gone through. Because, yeah, it's a little bit tougher to get on there. Shonen Princess says, yep, happened to me back in December, but my flight was actually canceled. I had a canceled flight once. Oh, man, one of my vlogs has it. It's kind of crazy because I'm like, okay, guys, bye. This is my last day. And then there's another video that's like, psych, my flight got canceled. Now I have another day. I had to, like, call my boss. I was, like, in the middle of Magic Kingdom calling my boss saying, my flight got canceled and I can't come into work tomorrow. And then had to call JetBlue. And the woman was laughing because I said I'm sitting in the middle of Gaston's Tavern in Disney World and I need to rebook my flight. And she was just cracking up. Yeah, that was crazy. And then I had to call reservations, make another a reservation for one more night. But really, like, I can't complain. It was, like, kind of awesome to be stuck in Disney World. Like, to have your flight canceled anywhere, that's the best place to have your flight canceled. Fun Disney fan says, Christine, what would you think about the rumor that last week they were doing a new recording for the Illuminations replacement show? I just saw Illuminations for my first time in person and thought it was outdated. I have a very strong nostalgic tie to Illuminations. It really makes me think of my mother. Some of you guys know I made a video a long time ago, but my mom passed about 11 years ago. And so for me, it's just, I have a really strong connection to the show in a personal sort of way. But at the same time, I can totally understand as somebody who is seeing it for the first time now that yes, it's pretty outdated, and I'm cool with an update. I would be sad if, like, they totally changed the whole concept. But I'm 100% cool with, like, an update, maybe updated music, maybe a new world globe thing. Like, I just want them to keep the concept of coming together. We're all human. We're all one race. We're all need to work together to progress. And I love that message, so I hope that they don't change that. Let's see. Lynn Ward says they don't hate Star Wars, they just haven't seen them. They even like Star Tours a lot the last time we went. So then, yeah, I think they'll be fine. I like, they don't need to have like any sort of reference, I don't think. And if you want to give them reference, I don't know, make a quick like cheat sheet of like, these are the characters that are important. These are the things you should know, But I think it's totally fine. Thank you for coming, Network 1901. You say you got to go back to work, but thank you for stopping by. I really, really appreciate it. Stoop Kid says, Ivy, blog your food. It's my favorite part of Disney. I will. Sometimes I admit that I think that the place I get the shyest when I'm vlogging is in restaurants. Because I feel a little weird just being like, here's my food. And like having people like looking at me. I don't know. That's like my one shy thing. But I do want to do more like restaurant reviews. I want to be talking more about what I'm eating while I'm there. And so this trip, I'm planning on doing that more, getting out of my comfort zone a little bit. Christopher Rodriguez says, hey, Christine, I live in Miami and have Florida weekday annual passes. The drive is usually only 3 hours for me, and gas is $40 there and back. Should I make random day trips? Any tips? I would 100% do that if I were you. 3 hours is a bit long, so I think if you're willing to do a day trip for driving that long, you'd have to get up pretty early to make the most out of your day. But I think that that's like a really still very like affordable, cheap way to go. I mean, think about the people who are spending money on hotels and everything else, and you already have the pass. So I think to make the most out of your pass, you should definitely go. I would say wake up early to make the most out of your full day. And obviously be careful if you're drinking anything and you're driving home. But I mean, I would do it. I know people who live in Tampa, and it's only about an hour and a half from Tampa, but they do it often too. I think if you have the pass, then you don't want to waste it. So Rob Fest says, are you a Landry's member? I love his tips so you can get easy, fast access to Rainforest, T-Rex, and Yak and Yeti. I am not, but I also don't eat at those restaurants often. I think their food is just okay. And I think that personally for me, there are better options at Disney to eat at. So I'd probably say I like Yak and Yeti better out of all of them, but I'm not really big on their food. M. Catron says, Illuminations being replaced with a new nighttime show in the near future. Former cast member that I work with mentioned that's maybe happening in the near future. Yeah, that's what we were talking about, and it's been a rumor for a really long time. They haven't confirmed it, but a lot of the times these sorts of rumors that last for a while end up being true, and I think right now the rumor is that they're going to wait until the big 50th anniversary. I mean, they're waiting for a lot of things for that. So it might be that. We might see it sooner. I personally think that they're working on it. I have no factual basis for that whatsoever. I just feel like they're probably working on it. Because like you said, Illuminations is really dated. It's probably one of the shows that needs the biggest update right now. So I wouldn't be surprised. Damien Does Disney says, where is your favorite place to eat at Epcot, or do you have any recommendations? I have become a really big fan lately of Coral Reef. I only discovered it, I knew it was there, but I only discovered it myself, experiencing it a couple of trips ago, and it's really nice. I mean, they have more than just seafood, so if seafood's not your thing, don't be put off by that. They definitely have steak and some other options. I really like the atmosphere. You get these big, beautiful aquarium views, and if you're lucky, you can get a table right next to the aquarium. And it's usually not as crowded and crazy as some of the restaurants in World Showcase. I am also a big fan of Marrakesh and Morocco, but I personally just like Moroccan food. And yeah, I need to eat at a few more places. Personally, I haven't eaten at the one fancy French restaurant in France that I'm totally blanking on the name of. And I haven't eaten at Via Napoli either, which everyone talks about. Everyone raves to me about. So I really want to do that too next trip. But I mean, it really depends on what you're looking for. Garden Grill is also really great. So that's more of a family style sharing meal, but it's delicious. And it's got this cool moving, basically the restaurant moves slowly. So it's not like you're going to barf all over the place while you're eating your food. But it does rotate, which is really cool. And it's a character meal. So that one's really, really fun as well. Let's see. Are you and Rob going back to Disney World this summer to check out Toy Story Land? I don't know what Rob's plans are. I know right now he doesn't have anything set in stone after April. Myself, I am not going back this summer. I am going to be working a contract job from May to September, and I'm covering a maternity leave. So therefore, I cannot take off any time because I'm covering for somebody who is out. So my next trip will likely not be till like October, November. I might push it to November because my birthday's in November, and even though it's not till the 19th, I'll probably just say it's my birthday anyway because it's November. So I might do that. But unfortunately, yeah, I can't take any sort of long periods of time off when I'm doing this contract job. Lynn Ward says, I live about 7 to 8 hours away. I'm considered driving down for a day, mostly eat at Ohana. I mean, that is a long drive, though. You know, there's been times that I've even thought about flying down for a day because, like, from New York to Florida, about 2 hours and 45 minutes. And sometimes I'm like, can I do it? Can I just, like, fly down, spend a whole day, and then fly back? But I don't know if I want to do that. Fun Disney Fans is a great name for a dining review series for Yubi. Christine Chu Reviews. I like that. Include vlogs and recorded thoughts back at your home. Yeah, I am really thinking about exploring that a lot more. This is another reason why I want to do a lot more sit-down restaurants. This trip is just so I can do some like really in-depth reviews and stuff for you guys. My Disney park memories. If you get up too late for a Magic Morning, do you avoid that park due to how large the crowds will get? Not always. I know you're technically supposed to, like, avoid them, but sometimes I'll still go. Or sometimes if I can still make it to the regular park opening time and I just missed that one, like, hour, I'll still go because it's still pretty quiet by then. But, I mean, yeah, you know, all these websites say, like, you should avoid extra magic hours if you aren't going to actually take full advantage of them, like, avoid those days. But I've gone, and it's been fine. So, let's see. Bye, Lion. Thank you for joining. Julian says, would you be mad if they changed Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios to a Guardians of the Galaxy ride? I don't know. I mean, everyone's been telling me how good the one in Disneyland is. I haven't ridden it yet. So, but right now, I kind of like having both. I like we have what we have in Disney World, and then they have that in Disneyland, and you can experience both. So, I'd be a little sad because then I just feel like, okay, well, now we just have two of these, and there's nothing like different really about it. But I don't know. Patrick says, how often do you go to Disney? I have an annual pass, so I try to make the most of it so that I am either, you know, using it up to its full value or basically like beyond that, you know, like making my days almost cheaper. So I try to go 2 to 3 times a year, with the idea of like having at least a couple of 5-day trips. And if I can do one like longer, then that's awesome. It's a little harder for me being in New York. I'm not a local. I'm not in Florida. So there's a lot more around planning. But, yeah, I try to go 2 to 3 times a year. M. Catrona says, what are some of your favorite quick service in all the parks? In Magic Kingdom, it's Columbia Harbor House. In Animal Kingdom, it's definitely the Satuli Canteen. I think it's amazing. I think it's probably the best quick service in all parks. In Hollywood Studios, I kind of like ABC Commissary. And in Epcot, I feel like I just tend to do more sit-downs in Epcot just because I think they're better than their quick service. So I don't know if I really have a favorite there. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. I need to think about that one a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, I think Satuli Canteen, if you haven't been there, you need to go there. It's so good. The food is so, so good. Jesse Meyer says, just logged on, but I'll be there in April, the 7th to 12th. My birthday is the 9th, so it's a birthday trip. Well, happy early birthday. That is awesome. We're missing each other by 1 day. I'm so sorry. But I hope you have an amazing, amazing birthday there. Never been for my birthday. I'm always jealous if people get to go for their birthdays. Andrew Brandenburg says, it's hard to get Ohana even 6 months out. Yes and no. I've done it for 10 people before 4 months out. So, you know, you got to keep checking. I think that's really what it is for all like Disney restaurants, is like you just got to be persistent and keep checking like every day. And I checked every day. Lynn Ward says, go in October, I'm going then, and obviously you plan your trips based on me. I want to go in October. I have 2 weddings, so I have 8 weddings this year to go to. It's kind of absurd. Everyone I know is getting married. I have 2 in October, the first weekend and the last weekend. So it's possible I can do a trip in between. So we'll see. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now as a possibility. Mouse Nerds Adventures says, if you're flexible on time, touring plans with Reservation Finder has helped us get some hard-to-find reservations, including Ohana and Be Our Guest. That's a great tip. I think that's really important with restaurant reservations, as well as being flexible on eating at weird times. Like, most people are going to eat their lunch between 12 and 2, but if you can eat at 11:30 or 3 o'clock, and then you're avoiding crowds, and you're more likely to get certain reservations, you know? So you need to think of it that way. All right, guys, I'm going to be wrapping up in a couple of minutes, so shoot me your last questions. And the next stream will probably be in Disney. I was trying to think of, like, when I'm going to do April's live stream. I think I'm just going to do it down there, and we're going to see how that goes, because it'll probably be from my phone, so hopefully that works out. So, Fun Disney Fan says, wondering how long max would you wait for Flight of Passage, Space Mountain, Tower of Terror, Soarin', or Toy Story Mania? Okay. Flight of Passage, the longest I would personally wait is 1.5 to 2 hours. Space Mountain, I never wait more than 45 minutes. Tower of Terror, I never wait more than 45 minutes. Soarin', not more than 30 minutes. I like it, but I don't like it that much. Toy Story Mania, I've waited about an hour for. I don't know. Personally, I'm very aware of my time, and I don't want to spend that long waiting for things. Oh, TT was Test Track, not Tower of Terror. I'm sorry. I'm tired today. Test Track, I would wait. I wait in 45 minutes before as well. Maybe an hour. There's just a point between that 45 to hour time frame that I just give up. I just, like, there's something about those numbers, and I'm just like, I can't do this. Travel Sick Tim says, planning a trip for 2020 so we can visit Star Wars Land. Can't go as often when we live in the UK. I totally understand that. That's a really big trip for you. Also, I think that your channel is so cool. So guys, there's this new channel, Travel Sick Tim. He's just starting up. But what I love about his channel is that he's going to be talking about theme parks from the eyes of someone who has motion sickness. And I think that's so important, because there are so many people who have that and feel like they can't go and they can't enjoy themselves and they don't know what to ride. So I think what you're doing is so, so cool. I think it's always important to be thinking about different people who have different experiences. So I think you're going to do awesome on your vlogs, Travel Sick Tim. Bill P says, that would be awesome, live vlog in Disney. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I don't know how the connection will be. Their Wi-Fi is kind of but we'll see how it goes. Jay Furlax says, second to touring plans and mouse dining reservation finders. Yeah, those are very, very good tips. M. Catrone, thanks so much for spending time with us during the live Q&A. Yeah, absolutely. I love hanging out with you guys. Like, I look forward to this every month. I wish I could do them more often. It's just like my life right now is a little crazy, but hopefully one day I'll be able to do at least like 2 a month. That's ideally what I'd love to do. The Emperor says, what would your ideal trip be? Hotel, restaurants, rides? Ooh, I like that question so much that I think I'm going to do a video on it. Because I would love to do a video where, like, if money was no restriction, what would my plan for an ideal trip be? So I'm going to steal that and make that a video and give you some credit, the Emperor, because that is a great, great question. Love it. Fun Disney Fan says, I'll wait up to 3 hours for Flight of Passage. I mean, it's an amazing ride, but the older I get, the more I just cherish my time. Oh, thanks, Rob Fuzz. It says you're getting better and better at the live streams. Thank you. I appreciate it. But I'm going to wrap this up. Before I do, in the future, I want to have a couple of people moderating, especially for you guys who are here every single time that I have a live stream. I super, super appreciate it. So if that is something that you're interested in doing, if you want to be a moderator for these streams, I would like you to tweet me. You can DM me. You can just regular tweet me. Let me know that you're interested. The requirement would be that I would need you to be here for, every stream, but I would always let you know plenty of time, ahead of time. But if that's something you want to do, if you want to help me out, then please send me a tweet and we'll see what we can work out. Rob Fuzz says, hit that like button. I would love for you to help me. So anybody who knows that they can consistently be at these streams, moderation is so important. So I'd love if any of you guys could help me. Carla and Finya, yes, make a coral reef reservation, do it. It's so good. It's so good. All right, guys, have a great rest of your weekends. I appreciate you guys so much. I love when you guys hang out with me. This is amazing. We hit like 45 people watching at one point, which was awesome. Have a great weekend. You guys are great. The next time I live stream will be in Disney. I promise. Take care.